Today. First, the New York State's Fast Food Wage Board recommending raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2018 in New York City and by 2021 for the rest of the state. The move applies to fast food chains with 30 or more locations nationwide. New York's current minimum hourly wage across all industries is $8.75. It is set to increase to $9 at the end of this year. The state labor commissioner still must accept this recommendation. Jonathan, let's talk about the implications of raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour.
What about 20?
Yeah.
Let's do 50.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, wages, Maria, are not arbitrary. It's just a number that you can pick out of a hat. They're based on reality. They're based on supply and demand. So to your point, what's the upshot is loss of jobs. It's not even my estimate. I mean, it's what the Labor Department said in the 1930s when the first minimum wage was instituted. So the real danger here, though, isn't just jobs for the average Joe Sixpack. It's for the younger people who are trying to learn those skills. And, you know, youth unemployment has gone down ever since George Bush started raising the minimum wage. During his term, you're going to see it go down, and you're going to see unemployment go up as a result.
Part of the motivation behind this, when I was speaking to Governor Cuomo a couple of months ago, he told me that right now, because of the number of people below the poverty level, that the state has to pay for all of those things for those people under the poverty level, like housing, like, you know, all these benefits that the state does. So if they raise it to $15, it takes the cost off of the state and puts it on business.
Well, where does the business get the money?
Exactly.
Where does the state get the money?
So business is going to turn around and say, okay, if I have to pay my workers $15 up from $8.75,
and Chipotle is already saying that they're going to raise prices as a result.
I'm raising prices and I'm cutting jobs.
Right, and price increases actually hurt the very lower income people that a minimum wage increase is meant to help. If it goes to 15 for fast food workers in the state of New York, it will go to 15 for all workers in the state of New York. There's no way. You're already statement is 15 in San Fran. It's going to 15, going to 15 in Los Angeles.
But Cuomo can do this for the restaurant industry because he doesn't need the New York legislature to vote, right? But if any other industry, he's got to get the legislature to say yes to that.
But there will be a march toward 15 for the entire state.
You're right. I agree with that.
From a macroeconomic standpoint, this is a great story for people that need more income getting income.
Yeah.
And it does have a slightly negative effect on some of the restaurant chains.
Could be more than slight.
It hasn't been historically.
It hasn't been.
I have to go back and I have to look and say, okay, what is the sustainability? What is the economic activity done since we've gone from $3.75 or wherever it was back in the day when I was a kid to where it is today?
They're trying to shield smaller businesses with this, applying it to chains, because in San Francisco, where minimum wages started going up, you've had restaurants in particular starting to go out of business because they can't afford the higher wages.
That's what you're going to see.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, you can't just pick a number out of the air and say that this is the right wage. Just as you can't do it with interest rates, you can't do it with wages as well. So oftentimes we don't see the immediate result, but, you know, force and freedom do not go together.
Well, it's really a big move from 9 to 15. I mean, look at where we've gone in the last couple of years, going from $8 to $8.75, and now it's expected to go to $9 by the end of the year. We're doing these incremental steps, and all of a sudden now we're going to raise it to 15. That's going to be a shock.
It probably comes down to your point that the governments want to take it off the state level because you've got to be able to make enough at a 40-hour week to be more than welfare.
The state government wants to put this on business and not have to pay all of these benefits for under the poverty line group.
Well, they don't have to pay them. And in fact, Maria, I mean, I could make the argument that one of the reasons that businesses don't pay as much as they should is that the minimum wage becomes a maximum wage essentially for low-level workers. And if the state didn't have all these benefit programs, maybe then the businesses would actually have to pay a living wage as opposed to be giving a justification to pay a below minimum wage.
A lot of implications here. We want to